Good morning. You're listening to WZRD Chicago, 88.3 FM, and that was Castle Talk playing I Don't Mind It. We have a special treat here for you today. There is, there is so much going on here at Northeastern Illinois University at 5500 North St. Louis in the Village Commons. We are having, the radio station is hosting a bake sale, and you can have some awesome, I don't know if you've ever tried this, but they're brownies with a little cayenne pepper in it. Amazing. Rock your socks off. And you'll be able to find some delicious strawberry bread, handmade with love, some homemade cupcakes and homemade Toll House cookies. Yum! Who doesn't like homemade chocolate chip cookies? Everybody does. So you just need to come see us at Northeastern Illinois University, where WZRD Chicago 88.3 FM is hosting a bake sale. And in addition to that, we have a very special treat this morning in that we have Janet Kuypers here. Now, Janet is the poetry host of At the Cafe. It's at
5115 North Lincoln Avenue.
Okay, 5115 North Lincoln Avenue. Thank you, Janet. And she's an outstanding poet and performance artist, and if you've never seen her perform, you have missed a huge treat. She is amazing. So Janet, good morning.
Good morning. And I brought some things to the bake sale this morning. It was awesome. There's awesome food there. It was very yummy.
It is.
Everybody should go. I think it's open to they're selling to 4 or
4
something.
o'clock this afternoon.
So grab some food. Yum.
And you can see some beautiful handmade signs too.
Those were awesome signs.
Made by a very talented young graffiti artist by the name of Vincent Schandelmeyer. I can say his name because he is not a wizard, and I am. So he did a really great job, and I want to commend him on his donation to our fine radio station by doing those beautiful signs today. It looks kind of like the gory bake sale.
Well, when you put in the graffiti in, but that just makes it look like it's a little bit more modern or something. You know, it's not like something old and dated.
Exactly, or corporate. You know, that's something that we had been discussing, having signs made up, you know, that you can roll up. Those very nice,
formal signs.
Formal, like corporate with grommets, you know, that you could like hang from the fence or, you know, in front of a table, and they'd be really easy to transport. But I'm like, no, let's do something really difficult and and challenging, something that's bulky. It takes up lots of space, but has heart in it.
But it's something unique for it.
That's true. That's true.
Awesome.
And the thing is, I also had them donated by City Hall.
Oh,
I got
nice.
them from our new city clerk, Susanna Mendoza. You know, I was working in her office earlier this year, and so they all say Miguel Del Valle on them. They're the signs that she retired.
Right.
And Mr. Del Valle is an alumni of the university, so it's very appropriate to have his name here on the back side of our signs.
Very good.
Yes, and we missed him at City Hall this summer. He's a wonderful city clerk, but we're really excited about having our first ever female city clerk in office.
Wow, cool, very cool.
Yeah, it's like having Wonder Woman in charge. She is just adorable. And wow, do you know she earned a soccer scholarship to get through school?
Really?
That's how she got into college, was with
cow.
a soccer scholarship.
Holy cow.
I was talking to her brother, and her brother told me that he used to play soccer, and so by default he just dragged his sister out to play with him, and then she got into soccer herself, and who'd have thunk? I mean, it's just, when I was a girl coming up, the only option we had in terms of sports was we could be cheerleaders. Yeah, and in fact, because my mother died so young, and my grandmother told me that she had died of a heart attack, they wouldn't even let me do sports in school. I was the kid who sat on the sideline reading a book because they were afraid that I'd have a heart attack, you know.
Oh my gosh.
So.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so I missed out on all of that. So I'm really excited that my daughter's like in Girls on the Run. It's a great thing.
Yeah.
It's a great thing. So anyway, Janet, tell me about your poetry. Tell me what we can expect to hear from you today.
Well, I was going to say, you were talking about me performing in places, and although I don't get to do that many features or performance art shows, the cafe as I said, 115 North Lincoln Avenue, which is on Tuesday evenings at 8:30 in the evening. It starts with an open mic, and then it has a feature. If you want to know anything about the features, there's a website for it. You go to www.chaoticarts.org/thecafe. No dashes, no periods, no nothing. And you can see everything for a schedule. If you're interested in having a feature because you like to have poetry or want to read stories or paint something or play the guitar or whatever you would like, give me an email. That's right there. thecafe@scars.tv is the email address. For nights where there is no scheduled feature, we have what we call a mini feature night, where any open mic poet or reader or whatever can go up and have up to 10 minutes of performing time. So a lot of times you see a lot of mini features in an evening as well. So if I don't have a show coming up, because I've got one at the cafe on November 22nd, 11/21/2011, 112211. I thought that was a cool date. But on other days when there happen to be mini feature nights, I usually am doing a 10-minute feature of poetry readings. So I've done things with music and astronomy like that in the past, and if there is nothing coming up the day after Labor Day, I'll have a 10-minute feature of readings from a book of mine that just went into its second printing that is called Contents Under Pressure.
Contents Under Pressure.
Like you get something in the store, be careful, contents under pressure.
Oh, yeah.
So that would be the content of it, because there's a lot of emotional stuff, because it's a bunch of poems. This book also actually has some short stories, a couple rants, editorials and things like that. Old poems, there are some that are like really old ones from when I was 10, which, you probably get a kick, and I should just do that for the humor's sake. I think. No, I don't think of that one. There's the first poem I ever wrote, but there are ones I wrote from my teen years, which of course I don't remember. Because they're just so long
please.
ago.
I can remember some of my poems from my teen years.
Although if you remember them, you probably wish you didn't remember them. But there are also newer from that time pieces in there, from its original publication in 1997, which is now, as I said, in its second printing. So I was going to read short prose pieces as well as poem pieces from that book.
Sounds
if anyone
great.
was interested. And actually, I was thinking of doing this before, releasing an audio CD of these books. So some of these readings might go into an audio CD.
That's a good idea.
So we'll try to pull that off.
Okay.
We'll see how that works.
Sure.
Actually, I think because in the past I have featured at places like Beach Poets, I believe that I read this once at Beach Poets, and people got a kick out of it.
Oh, good.
This first piece is called An Outline to the Apex of Rites of Passage. It was one of those rites of passage, a bar mitzvah of sorts, but this was bigger, much bigger than shaving for the first time or getting your period. This was the chance for all young high school men to lose their virginity, and a chance for all young high school women to dress up, feel like adults, look pretty. Everyone felt the driving need to go through this rite of passage, to not be left out, to be a part of the group. Either way, you get to take a day off of school. But like every rite of passage, the high school prom is probably more traumatic than fun, because no matter what, you feel like you have to go, and the entire time you're made to look like you're having fun. Especially for the photographers. You have to have a perfect record of your perfect life so you can upstage everyone else. With every aspect of prom, there was always a conflict, an expense, or an irony. I mean, this is supposed to be one of the best times in your life, and it's wrought with confusion. First, find a date. It has to be someone socially acceptable, otherwise it would be less embarrassing to just not go. Then, go through the trauma of asking your prospective date to actually go with you, or if you're a woman, waits to be asked, which is almost more cruel. Then, see which of your friends are going, arrange what group you'd like to go with to your prom. Then you have to start worrying about the details. For men, this meant transportation, the cheapest tuxedo, what kind of corsage to buy, something that pins on, or something that they wear on their wrist, or something they carry, like a bouquet. Oh, and don't forget the most important part, enough liquor and/or condoms. Note how suddenly the prospect of multiple hookers performing anything you'd want were both less expensive and less of a hassle than this quote-unquote date. For women, the details meant picking the right dress, the right shoes, the right purse, the right jewelry, the right perfume, the right makeup, the hair that has to be just right. Note how you have to then coordinate your clothing with your date. So much like real life. Then beg your partner to let you wear beg your parents, let me start that again. Then beg your parents to let you wear the dress you picked out, or keep the makeup and hairstyle that you wanted. Beg your parents to let you borrow their sports car. Beg your parents for enough money to pay for the limo, the flowers, the clothes. Beg your parents to let you stay out past curfew. How about 6 a.m.? Just this once. But come on, it's prom. Then the big day arrives. Ditch school because you know that you've got to get your hair done, and that could take hours, and you want to spend some time in the sun. You don't want to look as pale as a ghost for the photos. Then, after getting ready for an inordinate amount of time, meet up and take pictures. Ugh. This usually entails the men picking up the woman, taking pictures at the woman's parents' house, then going back to the man's parents' house and taking more photos there. It's almost worse than a wedding. Then, finally arrive at prom. Take more pictures. Talk to as many friends as you can there. Compliment their dresses and tuxedos. Find out what everyone else is doing after prom. See if anyone doing it has anything better planned than you. Note how many women are repeatedly pulling up their strapless dresses so they don't fall out of them. Note how many men are already drunk. And look, it's not even dinner yet. Take lots of pictures with your Instamatic camera. Let's do a group shot. Oh, let me take a picture with so-and-so. Then eat. Try to be Miss Manners and figure out how to eat your salad without using your knife. Try to see how little the women are actually eating. Note how many women go to the bathroom in groups. In any case, whatever you do, don't stop feeling awkward, but keep smiling. Then the dancing. Try to remember what your father taught you. Try not to look stiff. Try not to sweat. Dance in a box. Right foot forward, feet together. Left foot left, feet together. Right foot backward, feet together. Right foot right, feet together. Or go for the old high school standard. Wrap your arms around each other and just sway, occasionally making out in the middle of the dance floor. Note how many women have their lipstick smeared across their cheek or on their date's collar. Note how many bow ties have loosened. Then collect your things, say your goodbyes, and take a few more photos, and head out to the after-prom activities. Possible options include a late dinner, a 4-hour boat cruise, a walk around the lake, a bonfire, bowling, a hotel party, or the back of Dad's sports car. Note how disheveled you look at 6 a.m. Try to clean yourself up in the car before you go into the driveway in case your parents are waiting for you. Don't make out for too long as you say your goodbyes in front of your house. Then get up, get in the house as quietly as possible. Drop all your clothes into a pile in the middle of your bedroom floor and collapse on your bed. Here's a helpful hint. Drink a glass of water and take a multivitamin and some aspirin before crashing. It'll help with the hangover. Try to get some sleep before the day after prom amusement park trip. And keep in mind that even though prom is over, your friends will be rehashing it for at least a week. This is the ritual. Now go to sleep.
Woohoo! Oh yeah, I remember prom.
Oh, fun time.
My first prom, I went with John Jones. His middle name was Paul. John Paul Jones.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Oh
isn't that
my
crazy?
gosh.
Yeah, John Jones, the average American guy. He was 5'5". He weighed 155 pounds. He lived at 555 Central Avenue.
Oh my
and
gosh.
his telephone number was 687-5555.
Oh my
I
gosh.
kid you not.
Oh my gosh.
How average is that? And he wore a brown tux.
A brown tux. Lovely.
And our accents were yellow.
Oh, well, I guess it would go well with the brown.
Yeah.
Might as well.
It did. Brown and yellow. Yeah, it was very nice.
My senior date, I went with a friend of mine, and he realized that he liked me. And I'm like, oh, I was just going as friends. I said that from the beginning.
Right, yeah.
What?
John
You
was
know.
actually just my friend. And my dad, actually I got in some trouble because I threw a party at the house accidentally.
You accidentally threw a party?
Well, my grandparents were over watching the house with me, you know, when my parents were out of town. So I invited just a couple friends. Why don't you guys come over and we'll shoot some pool? And then before you know it, everybody...
So you had a pool table?
We had a pool table.
Awesome.
So my friends told
Parties
some
in our
friends,
house.
and their friends told some friends, and their friends told some friends, and it was
And they told you friends.
crazy. They got into my parents' booze cabinet.
Oh, no.
And one guy was smoking a pipe. I won't say what. When my grandmother came downstairs, and she's like, "Oh, how nice! Look, he's smoking a pipe. My brother used to smoke a pipe." She didn't know what it was.
Oh, no.
So cute.
Oh, no.
So she didn't mind that as much as the booze.
Oh.
So I got in so much trouble. I was grounded for like the rest of the year, and so my parents didn't want me to go to prom, and I'd already been invited. So John went. He had a shot of Dutch courage, and then he went and he appealed to my father, and he said, "Sir, you know, I invited your daughter to go to prom, and would you please allow, I already have the tickets, will you please allow your daughter to go to prom with me?" And my father really respected him for having the courage to come and speak to him like man to man.
Yeah.
And of course, John was all of 16 years old.
Yeah. So, yeah. Oh, boy.
Yeah. So my father allowed us to go to prom together.
And I actually I had another piece that actually related to prom that was a prose piece that I read last week at the cafe. And it's
You did?
No, it's called Prom 97, or Doing Things Right. Because it was like, hey, I realized at that point, hey, it was 10 years ago when I had went to prom. I've got all these great dresses from my mother that she used to have that are great, and I have nowhere to wear them. What the hey? Let's have a party, a prom party, and invite people over. And I made the little open things that said what the theme song was, and I had a disco ball.
Oh, cool!
And I actually asked a friend of mine who lived in Indiana, as a friend back in high school, if he'd go to prom with me. And he's like, well, I want to actually save that for a date. And he was younger than me, and I'm like, all right, I understand. But we always agreed that if we could ever go back, we'd actually go together. So when I was having this party, he came in to visit, and we had, you know, a photo booth in the corner, and we nominated people like King and Queen of Prom. It was very, very funny.
Oh, it sounds hysterical.
It was great. And if anybody, since I don't have that with me, if anybody wants to actually know what that was, or hear the story from it, or from the live reading of it, that is at the cafe. If you look for the reading, last week was the 23rd, last Tuesday, and so there was a reading of that piece on the 23rd. There's also links to it in the audiovisual section of scars.tv. If you go there and go to AV and go to poetry and start looking for prom, just start searching for prom, and you'll find something called Prom 97. So that's on there as well. There's probably also a link to it at janetkuypers.com, but I'd have to spell that for you. www.janetkuypers, KUYPERS.com. Search for the experience section for performance art stuff.
Nice.
So yeah, it's all prom related, even though I wasn't at prom for that. So you had to write about prom for some reason anyway. So
there was actually another boy that I liked better than John. Of course, John Jones, the average American boy. But he was a bad boy, and he worked at the gas station. His name was Jan. We called him Jan.
Right.
And he didn't. Yeah, he didn't do prom.
Because I know that
he was such a bad boy. He didn't do prom. But he drove a GTO. You know, we called it a goat. It was cool. It was a bad car.
Awesome.
We called it Boss. It was a Boss car.
It was a boss car, definitely. That sounds awesome.
And so what I did after prom is I wound up driving myself home because John was so smashed that he couldn't drive, and I hadn't even taken any driving lessons, but I had to get myself home. So I stopped by Jan's house, and I put my bouquet in the doorknob of his car.
Aww.
And so he knew I was thinking about him.
Aww, that's very sweet.
Yeah, and then I drove myself home and let myself into the house because John was in no condition.
Oh, jeez,
That's
Louise.
crazy. Right?
Oh my God, yeah, crazy stories from prom. And for some reason I wrote about them twice in this one book, so.
Nice.
So anyway.
Yeah, so you have another piece to share with us?
Oh, sure. I was looking for the longer pieces to actually start off with first, so I hope you'll bear with me. This one I thought was a kind of funny one, and it is called How Are You? The phone rang. Woke me up. I picked up the phone, stumbled out a hello. Hi, it's Andrea. Oh, hi, Andy. How are you? Oh, fine. And how are things with you? Oh, fine, I said. Work's been busy. Oh, I know. I was the maid of honor for Gwen's wedding, and tack that onto work, I've just been swamped. Speaking of work, I said, I'm late. Oh, okay. Talk to you later. Okay. Goodbye. Got into the office, waved my copy of the USA Today at the receptionist's desk. Hi, Janet. Hi, Lisa. How are you? Oh, fine. Tired. And you? Oh, fine. It's Monday. I checked my mailbox and headed for my desk. Sat in my cubicle. Linda peered in. Hey, Jay. Hey, Lynn. How are you? Oh, fine. And you? Oh, fine. Same old, same old. And she walked away. Phone rang. This is Janet, I say. Hi, this is Donna. Hi, Donna. How are you? Oh, fine. How are you? Oh, fine. We said our generic pleasantries before she told me of her work shipping details. End of the day. Got home. Checked messages. Hey, Janet. It's your sister. How are you? Give me a call. The machine beeped when it was done. I picked up the phone to call her back, and then I realized I had nothing to say.
Aww.
You know, you spend your day. How are you? Oh, fine.
I hate that.
Oh,
I
fine.
won't do it.
Same
I won't do
old.
it.
How are you?
When people ask me, and it's so vacuous. I just am like, okay, you want to know how I am?
Yeah.
Let me really tell you.
Wait, let me give you the whole spiel.
Let me tell
Exactly.
you the real deal.
How are
You want to
you?
know how I am? I'm going to tell you how I am.
Well,
All right? I'm living the dream. I'm living the dream.
I've got a bit of a headache right now, and
I tell you what, being
couldn't get
down
the laundry
here.
done. And
Did you notice our floors?
They were just.
They were
looked-
washed
They
for the
looked.
first time in 23 years
They
yesterday.
looked so clean.
That was Freddie. Freddie did that. He did an amazing job.
Freddie,
God bless our
Freddie.
Freddie.
That's awesome.
That's what I say.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
They look very cool. Definitely.
Yeah. So, what was the theme of your prom? Do you remember?
No.
Mine was Stairway to Heaven.
A night to remember. That's what mine said.
A night to
Whatever that was.
remember.
And in my whole prom thing, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have to come up with like theme music, and it can't be crap like, you know, Michael Bolton, When a Man Loves a Woman, or whatever, you know, nonsense you'll hear.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm playing all big band stuff, and everybody's having a great old time, and I made punch, and I wouldn't dare tell whatever I had in the cabinet would go into the punch and add some icy fruit punch to the thing. So, and
Yeah.
people were like, this is delicious.
Sounds like from Happy Days.
It was just like a crazy mess, but yeah. And it would help me get rid of all the liquor that I didn't want that was left over in the cabinet, sure. But it was funny. It was very fun. People enjoyed it, so.
Oh, good.
So yeah.
So, you have another piece for us?
Oh, I've got tons and tons of pieces.
Oh boy. And we have another treat coming up later on today. Lonnie Kingsbury is in from Cincinnati, Ohio.
Oh.
She's sleeping on my sofa when I left.
Oh.
But she's going to be coming over to the radio station pretty soon.
Very cool.
And she's going to share with us some of her work. She's going to be featured at the Bucktown Arts Fest this weekend. Now, she is originally from Bucktown Wicker Park, which is why I invited her to come perform for us. And she had attended the Motley School for Incorrigible Girls.
Oh, that's awesome.
Isn't that awesome? What a great story. So she's doing a musical based on having been at the Motley School for Incorrigible Girls.
Oh, gosh. Nothing else. I love that. I mean, I know nothing about the place, but that's just
What a
such
great title.
name. Yeah, no kidding.
It almost sounds like Motley Crue, you know, Motley School
Motley
for
School for
Incorrigible
Incorrigible Girls. Oh, wow. That's a riot.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to hearing from Lana pretty, later on today when she comes in.
It's always great. There's so many cool things you can always check out during the summertime in Chicago.
Right. And the great thing about the Bucktown Arts Fest, it's all run by volunteers and it's all free. So it's from 11 o'clock in the morning till 7 o'clock in the evening. Tomorrow morning we have Chicago Aerial Dance, or Aerial Dance Chicago, that's it. Aerial Dance Chicago is going to be opening the fest for us at 11 o'clock. They do a trapeze act.
Oh, wow.
And they're going to allow children who are at the fest to be swinging on the trapeze.
Awesome.
Isn't that cool? Doesn't that sound like fun?
Awesome. That's the best thing ever.
Right? And then we have magicians coming in, and mask makers, and balloon twisters, and face painters, and belly dancers. It's going to be a blast. Oh, hula hoops of fire.
Oh, wow. Ooh,
Katie has
surprise.
something she's telling me. Come on, Katie. What is it? Come here. Oh, and it's my daughter's 10th birthday.
And you needed your daughter to remind
She
you of
had
that.
to remind me, and we're going to be
Big one.
singing happy birthday to her from the stage.
She's got the double
at
digits.
The Bucktown Arts Fest. She's going today. Is the last day. My baby will be in the single digits.
Last day of the single digits for you. Woo!
Yeah, she's going to be a whole decade old tomorrow. Doesn't that sound old? A decade.
A whole decade old.
Right?
Oh my gosh.
You're gonna be a century.
Hey!
No, you're being silly. You're being silly.
She said I'm going to be a century old.
Oh, that's silly. I don't know how well
I was born.
Oh,
Okay,
funny.
so you have another piece for us.
Sure, I've got one word that resembles prose. I do have longer stories in this, but I'm not going to waste everybody's time with a half-hour reading of a short story. No. So this one is a funny one. I did a show years ago at the cafe when I wasn't hosting it about dreams. And this is one of the things I used in it, and people got a real kick out of it. I haven't read this in a while, but this one is called A Dream About Murder. I had a dream last night. It was different from my usual dreams. Usually I dream about stuff that seems pretty real, somewhat mundane, and at most usually frustrating. But I don't know whether it was the wine I had at the Thanksgiving feast at Rachel's down the block, or if I heard some strange story on television earlier, but I dreamt about murder. Dave and I were staying at a hotel. I don't know what hotel it was, but it was on a body of water. I think it was a lake and not an ocean or anything. And I remember at some point, it was at dawn in the dream, and I went for a jog. And I noticed two good-looking men outside while I was out for my jog, and then I went down a hill to the water. I wanted to jog along the water, but they had it roped off. I don't even know who they would be, but the area along the water was roped off. Maybe until full daylight, maybe then lifeguards would be there to protect the people. But the point is, I couldn't jog along the water, so I sat down at the bottom of the stairs by the water's edge, right in front of the ropes, and watched the water. And a woman came along down the stairs and sat down next to me to watch the water too. I remember thinking that I didn't like her being so close. I like to keep a sense of personal space. Then it occurred to me that there wasn't really that much space for her to go to since the whole area was roped off. And the thing is, I don't even like to jog. Oh, so anyway, I don't even know why I went for a jog or what point in time it was in my dream that the jog occurred, but I know that in the dream I killed someone. It occurred before my dream technically started. I don't remember anything about the murder. I don't know if it was me alone that did the killing or if Dave was there with me. Or all I know is that I killed a guy. I don't know why I killed him, but I killed someone in another room in the same hotel. Someone whom I didn't even really know. And the thing is, I was wearing fake nails during the murder. Or at least that's what I inferred in the dream, because I thought I lost one of them at the scene of the crime. And the main part of the dream was me in the bathroom recovering all of my fake nails because they might implicate me in the murder. So I was removing my nails. They were these plastic nails glued onto my real nails. They weren't even really painted. They were still just white plastic. And as I was removing these fake nails, I was dropping them on the floor because I was ripping them off so frantically I didn't want anyone to be able to link me to the murder. So when I got all them off, I was still worried that I had a little glue left on my real fingernails. So I was trying to scrape that off, and then I was trying to pick up all the fake nails off the bathroom floor. They all fell into just right to the toilet, and they were on the floor. And I remembered that as I was picking them up, I also picked up a dust ball. Oh, there's a girl coming through. There's a lot of people. I remember that when I was picking them up, I also picked up a dust ball and a used piece of clear tape. I remember thinking that was odd, because usually hotel bathroom floors are clean, and they're actually cleaned every day. So anyway, I kept picking up the nails, trying to make sure I got them all, occasionally dropping one of them back into the floor because it was so hectic and nervous. This made the whole procedure take most of my dream up. once I had all the nails, the only thing I could think about was how to dispose of those nails, and the rest of the dream became a frantic effort of trying to figure out how I could get rid of them all so that they could not be trapped back to me. I thought that I could just flush them all down the toilet, but then I thought that there might be a chance that one of the nails wouldn't go down and would just stay at the bottom of the toilet, and I wouldn't notice it, and then I would think I was at home, and actually, in actuality, I'd be leaving a huge piece of evidence in my own hotel room linking me to the murder. Then I wondered if they'd have a way to actually sift through the sewer water from the hotel. So then I thought that I shouldn't even flush them down the toilet right there, but go to various public restrooms and all around town and flush each one down a different toilet, a few at a time. And so then I started to worry that if the nail I left at the scene of the crime, it took more than just the dirt, the glue from the glue, that it actually took some of my nail with it. And then it would have left DNA evidence at the scene of the crime. And then there would be nothing that I could do. And then I started to wonder, did I actually lose a nail at the scene of the murder, or if I was just overreacting? And then I wondered if anyone had even actually found that dead body yet, all this time, laying there on the floor in the hotel room. And then the phone rang and I woke up.
Ooh, that's eerie. Wow.
And the thing became this massive search for looking for your nails, your fake nails, because you think you killed somebody, but you can't remember anything.
Yeah, but you didn't really, because it's a dream.
Yeah, it was all just in a dream, and it was just like this, oh, well, I've got to save myself somehow.
Yeah,
Oh,
I know how that is. Yeah, I for some reason, I seem to remember my dreams where I fly. I fly in my dreams a lot.
I usually have very mundane dreams. I'm walking down a street, there's nothing interesting that happens, and I was dreaming that I apparently killed somebody.
Yeah,
but I didn't dream
Mission
that I
Impossible dream.
Trying to figure out
James Bond dream.
Couple of things I'm being very CSI forever ago. Like, why am I thinking of concealing evidence of my killing somebody?
Right.
Did I kill somebody?
Hello?
Did I leave a nail there? And I'm wearing fake nails. Like, what? I don't know, like I've got that. I'm always, oh well.
It's crazy.
So that's why I had to write that stuff down.
Right? Yeah.
Every once in a while.
You're listening to WZRD Chicago, 88.3 FM on your radio dial, and here we have with us Janet Kuypers, who hosts at the cafe, which is at 5115. 5115.
Palindrome, 5115. 5115. Yep. Just out the Foster on Lincoln Avenue.
Great. So, Janet, you have another piece you'd like to share with us?
I would love to. I'm trying to think.
Janet, you're something of a living miracle.
Am I?
Yes, you are. As I recall, you had been in a terrible car accident.
Yes.
Some time ago,
Yes.
and just through the grace of God managed to survive. After which time, you met the most amazing, the nicest guy in the history of the world, your husband John.
I know.
That was such an amazing thing.
I would never have met him if I hadn't lost my job after the accident and living at my parents' house while recovering, so I was taking the train to go to work, and I met him on that train.
Isn't that something? Yeah, destiny.
I know, and he's out of town on work right now, so he doesn't get to.
Oh, we miss him. He was at the poetry. He wasn't at the Beach Poets on Sunday either. We missed him.
It's been very sad.
Yeah, it must be hard on you.
Middle of the night tonight he comes.
Now, what does he do that he's traveling so much?
He is an engineer managing validation and calibration work for a large instrumentation company. VWR is the name of the company. A lot of companies need to have just the right kind of equipment for taking care of creation of drugs or in research and development, or universities and schools need to have proper equipment and have everything set up properly and accordingly so that they can actually have the proper tools for doing any sort of scientific work.
Sure.
And he is in charge of basically half of the country, which is why he is in
California
California right now.
Go so much.
Yeah.
He's in California.
He's in California now, and he was in Reno last week, and he's going to be in Indianapolis next week. So
Man,
I never get to see him. It's very sad. But he has a job, so I'm thrilled
that's
with that.
a blessing.
Exactly.
I wish my husband had one.
It's why I was like, well, at least he has a job. I
That's
might
right.
not like it when he's around, that he's not around, but at least things are a little bit calmer monetarily here.
Yes,
which is
yes,
very nice.
that makes a lot of sense.
So,
So you have a piece to share with us.
sure. I was just thinking, I've looked and I have a few, and I can relate the second one to style work that he's done, because he is a musician.
He's really good.
The thing is, he wanted to be in a band, he played the guitar like mad, but he said, no, I need something more practical, so he went into engineering. And I started off all of my schooling that I was planning on being a computer science engineer, and I just said, I hate this, I can't do this, I'm going to go into journalism and graphic arts, and I write and I design for a living. So we are like the same thing, because I've got the engineering underside and he's got the music underside, and so we share all of these things.
But you guys like traded places there, like yin and yang.
And we could totally get along like that. And he actually, with an album, did mixing of stuff, including altering a tiny piece that I had written called Ranting. I don't like to watch movies. Since when did America decide that people need to escape so desperately? Yes, switch off the brain for a few hours, because work is such a bitch, trying endlessly to find an infinite number of ways to make it look like you're actually working, when in actuality you're just screwing off. So you need to unwind with pictures and sound, but not actual interaction, or dare I say activity. Unwind with pictures and sound of an overly muscular leading man decorated with ammo belts blowing away a faceless enemy, because we all want to actually kill, don't we? And this is just our way to live out our sick little fantasies. So we watch this leading man decorated with ammo belts blowing away a faceless enemy, punctuating a scene with a less than witty one-liner. Oh, sorry. Was I ranting? So that's actually a piece that he had put to music from Order from Chaos, the Entropy Project, yes.
And you're also a vegetarian, aren't you?
Yes, I am. And this next really short piece here, vegetarian, I was in a car with another one, and we had this discussion, and I had to write this piece, and it is called Loggers.
You know, my daughter is a vegetarian.
Yay!
And I think that's why, like, animals just take to her. I think it's because they're more sure that she won't eat them.
What do people think when, it's like, how are we at peace with everything in the universe when we're causing destruction in one form or another, which, welcome to America.
Right. Well, Percy Bysshe Shelley said, how can a person be a true pacifist when violence lurks in your very vitals, when you're a meat eater? Shelley was a vegetarian.
Yeah.
And as was his wife, Mary Wollstonecraft Shelley. The one who wrote Frankenstein.
And my nephew has become a vegetarian, and I'm like, why did you decide? Because I never push him. And he's, why did you do it? He's like, oh, I just thought it tasted better.
Nice!
And I was like, really?
Yay.
I mean, like, it's hard for people to find, when you look for it.
Yeah.
What, you don't like the taste of bloody meat instead?
Sure, right, but the suffering
Yep.
that the animals suffer so much. Imagine, not having any life, just being born to be in a factory and be slaughtered. It's terrible.
As the Smith said, as you savor the flavor of murder. It's, anyway, I won't go on about it, but,
okay.
Well, this was actually a discussion with one, and I had to write this down. It was called Loggers.
Good, thank you.
I was wondering, when nature's rights were substituted for human rights, somebody tell me. Because, I care about the environment and all. I like trees, and I'm a vegetarian. But I was in a car with an environmentalist once, talking about the national forests, how that they are largely destroyed. And they were largely destroyed in the early 90s, hundreds of years ago, by loggers, but are protected now. And this environmentalist said to me, kill the loggers. And the thing is, he really meant it. He said he didn't, but he did, and I wonder if he realizes what he's willing to sacrifice for what he thinks is right. I wonder if the loggers would agree with them. That's a thing, though. We always, we walk on this balance, on this tightrope, figuring out where we'll do things without hurting mankind. And, that doesn't mean you actually kill somebody because they're cutting down a tree. What rights are more important to human life? It depends on the tree. I know redwoods are gorgeous and long living and such, but we have to figure out that appropriate balance.
Absolutely.
So, Well, I would read as many pieces as you would like, but I would like to, I have one piece to end with.
Oh, good.
Because it would be
Yes,
funny. So if you
lovely.
have other...
Yes, let's do that.
If you want me to do that
I have,
one for
you know, Lana Kingsbury is on her way.
Alrighty.
So she came here from Cincinnati, and she's going to be interviewed this morning. She's one of our featured artists at the Bucktown Arts Fest this year. She's originally from Bucktown, which is why I invited her to write an original piece, especially for this event. And last night, she actually had a painting, which she took off her wall, that had been included in an art museum book. I mean, and she auctioned it off last night at the Bucktown Arts Fest gala party. For $100.
Nice.
Yeah, that
Very
was nice.
cool.
It was a beautiful painting. If I had the cabbage, I would have ponied up.
Definitely. That's very cool. Well, you had said that I do all sorts of things. Well, I guess I do with recordings for CDs and the like, so I thought this would be funny to end it off with. This piece is called Athena. Ladies and gentlemen, high above the dancing elephants and the clowns driving around in their little cars, honking their horns, high above the lion tamers with their whips and chairs, is our main attraction tonight. All eyes turn to Athena, the tightrope walker. See her gracefully step out onto that paper-thin wire, balance high above everyone else, while all eyes are on her, all without a net. Would you like to see her do a flip, a spin, touch the rope with her tiny, fragile fingers? Athena will put on the grandest of shows for you. Imagine, if you will, the fear she must feel. With one wrong move, she falls to her death into the mouths of the lions in between the running clowns. Come, see her perform. Watch her walk. Watch her move. Watch her shake. This is the greatest show on earth.
Woohoo! Nice!
Thank you.
Oh, Janet, my memory card is full. WZRD Chicago, that was King Curtis, Dynamite at Midnight. It was Dynamite. What a great song. That was a jumping little number. So now we have Janet Kuypers is here with me in the studio. And we're just wrapping up our interview here. We had a nice, long, beautiful morning together listening to Janet's poetry. I loved all the things that we've done. It's been quite a compendium. Is that right? We're covering the spectrum of poetry. So, Janet, you host a poetry reading
At the cafe.
5115 North Lincoln Avenue. And that's every Tuesday night at 8:30.
Correct.
And it's open to anybody who'd like to come in and do some poetry.
If you want to know anything about a schedule, you can always go to the website www.chaoticarts.org/thecafe.
Awesome. So you can do one more piece for us before we wrap it up?
Well, I'd have to go pull something up.
Oh, no. Well, you just want to wrap it up? Shall we just say hasta la vista, Janet?
I could say if anybody wants to get a hold of me, just try to remember how to spell my name. JanetKuypers. You can go to janetkuypers.com or search for me on Facebook. I've got a page at facebook.com/Janet Kuypers. I've got, because I do mini 140 character or fewer poems, I've got twitter.com/Janet Kuypers,
Awesome.
which has lots of links to video links as well, hopefully as well as video links from this poetry show. You can also find me as for performance art links on myspace.com/Janet Kuypers.
Cool.
And so I'm or youtube.com/CCANDD96. You know, you have to find me. You can find tracks of mine on the radio because I can actually say I'm a professional performance artist. I've got tracks that are available for sale.
Amazing.
So you can find them on YouTube or find it.
You have a following from all over the world. I went to her poetry reading. There's this guy there from England. I mean, it's really wonderful how you really reach out to the world. And I believe the world is a better place. Absolutely, because you're here, Janet. So I thank you most sincerely for being here with us today.
Thanks for this opportunity to be at this great radio station. Love it here.
WZRD Chicago, 88.3 FM.